In those days, the distances were all very different. The dirt blew off the hills that have now been cut down, and Kansas City was very like Constantinople. You may not believe this, no one believes this, but it is true. On this afternoon, it was snowing, and inside an automobile dealer's show window, lighted against the early dark, there was a racing motor car finished entirely in silver, with Dans Argent lettered on the hood. This I believe to mean the Silver Dance, or Silver Dancer, and, slightly puzzled by which it meant, but happy in the sight of the car and pleased by my knowledge of a foreign language, I went along the street in the snow. I was walking from the Wolf Brothers Saloon, where on Christmas and Thanksgiving Day, a free turkey dinner was served, toward the city hospital, which was on a high hill that overlooked the smoke, the buildings, and the street of the town. In this reception room of the hospital, there were two ambulance surgeons, Doc Fisher and Dr. Wilcox, sitting, the one before the desk, the other in the chair against the wall. Doc Fisher was thin, sand blonde, with a thin mouth, amused eyes, and gambler's hands. Dr. Wilcox was short, dark, and carried an index book, the young doctor's friend and guide, which, being consulted on any given subject, told symptoms and treatment. It also cross-indexed so that being consulted on symptoms, it gave diagnosis. Doc Fisher had suggested that any further additions should be further cross-indexed so that if consulted as to the treatments being given, it would reveal ailments and symptoms, as an aid to memory, he said. Dr. Wilcox was sensitive about this book, but could not get along without it. It was bound in limp leather and fitted his coat pocket, and he had brought it at the advice of one of his professors, who said, "Wilcox, you have no business being a physician, and I have done everything in my power to prevent you from being certified as one. Since you are now a member of this learned profession, I advise you, in the name of humanity, to obtain a copy of The Young Doctor's Friend and Guide, and use it, Dr. Wilcox. Learn to use it." Dr. Wilcox had said nothing, but he had bought the leather-bound guide that same day. I came in the receiving room, which smelt of cigarettes, iodoform, carbolic, and an overheated radiator. "Gentlemen, what news along the Rialto?" "The free turkey at Wolf's." "You partook?" "Copiously." "Many of the confreres present?" "All of them, the whole staff." "Much Yuletide cheer?" "Not much." "Dr. Wilcox here has partaken slightly." "Want a drink?" "No thanks." "That's all right." "Horace. You don't mind me calling you Horace, do you?" "No." "Good old Horace. We've had an extremely interesting case." "I'll say." "You know the lad who was in here yesterday?" "Which one?" "The lad who sawed Eunuchhood." "Yes." I had been there when he came in. He was a boy about 16. He came in with no hat on, and was very excited and frightened, but determined. He was curly-haired and well-built, and his lips were prominent. "Well, what's the matter with you, son?" "I want to be castrated." "Why?" "I've prayed, and I've done everything, and nothing helps." "Helps what?" "That awful lust." "What awful lust?" "The way I get, the way I can't stop getting. I pray all night about it." "Just what happens?" The boy told him. "Listen, boy, there's nothing wrong with you. That's the way you're supposed to be. There's nothing wrong with that." "It is wrong. It's a sin against purity. It's a sin against our Lord and Savior." "No, it's a natural thing. It's the way you're supposed to be, and later on, you will think you're very fortunate because of it." "Oh, you don't understand." "Listen," Doc Fisher said, and he told the boy certain things. "No, I won't listen. You can't make me listen." "Please listen." "You're just a goddamn fool." "Then you won't do it?" "Do what?" "Castrate me." "Listen, no one will castrate you. There's nothing wrong with your body. You have a fine body. You must not think about that. If you are religious, remember that what you complain of is no sinful state, but the means of consummating a sacrament. I can't stop it happening. I pray all night and I pray in the daytime. It is a sin, a constant sin against purity.
Oh, go in. When you talk like that, I don't hear you. Won't you please do it? No, I told you, boy. Get out of here. Get out. Don't touch me. Get out.
That was about 5 o'clock on the day before.
So what happened? So at 1 o'clock this morning, we received the youth self-mutilated with a razor. Castrated? No. He didn't know what castrated meant. He may die. Why? Loss of blood. The good physician here, Dr. Wilcox, was on call, and he was unable to find the condition in his book. The hell were you talking that way? I only mean it in the friendliest way, Doctor. Horace here will bear me out that I only speak of it in the friendliest way. It was an amputation the young man performed, Horace. Well, I wish you wouldn't ride me about it. There isn't any need to ride me. Ride you, Doctor? On the day, the very anniversary of our Savior's birth? Our Savior? Ain't you a Jew? So I am. So I am. It's always slipping my mind. I've never given it its proper importance. So good of you to remind me. Your Savior. That's right. Your Savior. Undoubtedly your Savior. And the ride for Palm Sunday. You're too damn smart. An excellent diagnosis, Doctor. I was always too damn smart. Too damn smart on the coast, certainly. Avoid it, Horace. You haven't much tendency, but sometimes I see a gleam. But what a diagnosis, and without the book. The hell with you! All in good time, Doctor. All in good time. If there is such a place, I shall certainly visit it. I have even had a very small look into it. No more than a peek, really. I looked away almost at once. And do you know what the young man said when the good doctor here brought him in? He said, "Oh, I asked you to do it. I asked you so many times to do it." On Christmas Day, too! The significance of the particular day is not important. Maybe not to you. You hear him, Horace? You hear him? Having found my vulnerable point? Having found my Achilles tendon, so to speak? The doctor pursues his advantage. Too damn smart! Want a drink? Gentlemen. Alright, Dave, thank you. Up.
Action. I looked away almost at once. And do you know what the young man said, Horace, when the good doctor here brought him in?
I looked away almost at once. And you know what the good doctor said when the young...
Okay, I looked away almost at once. And do you know what the young man said, Horace, when the good doctor here brought him in?
I looked away almost at once. And do you know what the good doctor said?
The young man.
Right. And later on, you will think you're very fortunate because of it. Is it quiet?
It's fine.
How close was it?
You just added because of it. Action.
So, at 1 o'clock this morning, we received the youth self-mutilated with a razor. I'd like to hear that.
Okay. If you are religious, remember that what you complain of is no sinful state but the means of consummating a sacrament.
If you are religious, won't you please do it? so end it.